Hey everyone, welcome to Provider Spotlight. We are Meddkit. We are here to tell the stories, the really unique stories of all different private practices of, wellness providers, wealth and wellness providers in our area all over the United States. And today we have Chris Robertson. He is a family nurse practitioner and his practice is Total Health and Med Spa. He's out in Middleton, Ohio. So, Chris, would you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you're currently doing right now.
My name is Chris Roberson. I own and operate Total Health and Med Spa. We're a primary care practice that we offer a few different services. That's where the Med Spa comes in. We do cosmetic Botox, weight loss, IV hydration, uh, and we're in the Middletown, Ohio area.
That's awesome. So, can you tell us how you got into medicine in the first place? What's your background story?
In high school, I wasn't sure the direction I was going to go, so I joined the Army, became a combat medic, and the medical career just kind of grabbed a hold of me. I love helping people, taking care of people, and so I got out of once I got out of the Army, I came home and went to nursing school.
Wow, that's a pretty incredible experience. Two very different ones, I'm sure, for you.
Yeah, the military life is a lot different than the civilian world. Military medicine is there are a lot of paths that cross over there, but it's a little different.
Yeah, I'm sure. So maybe this question kind of goes into this, but why is your approach different from typical family care providers?
What I do here, a little bit of cross-functional medicine with traditional medicine, and that functional, I try to find the root cause of what's going on and treat that to make the patient or the individual better versus let's just treat symptoms. For example, if you have high blood pressure, I'm not just throwing a pill at it. Let's lower your blood pressure. Let's see if there are ways that if it's weight induced, diet induced, if this is going to be, you're going to be on a pill forever. But let's see if we can find the root cause of it and get you off medications through some lifestyle changes, things like that.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I find, a lot of people want to be prescriptive and want to just treat, but not try to actually find the root cause, which could be totally something different. And if you were able to solve that, it might have, a snowball effect into.
Right. It can be life changing. And where, just sometimes just a few subtle changes can get people off a bunch of medications. Diabetes, for example, if they can sometimes, just things with their diet or adding a little bit of exercise, sometimes you can cut it off. But, sometimes there's a genetic component that,
Yeah.
they have to be on medications. But I like to see if we can find the cause of it to see maybe we don't need these medications forever.
Yeah, no, I love that. And as a practice owner, what do you think is like the most rewarding thing of having your own business, having your own practice?
I get to build relationships with the patients. It's not just a numbers game. Come in. What are you here for today? All right, get out. Let's, you get to talk about their families. You get to talk about how they're doing, what's going on in their lives. You get to take time with them. You get to listen to them. Where a lot of patients, I just feel like my doctor's rushing me in and out. And,
Yeah.
so you get to take that time. There's no one standing over, knocking on your door. Come on, we got to get going. And you get to make the patients feel special, and I really like that part of it.
Yeah, I think especially in today's age, we're seeing that a lot more, especially with, larger networks, you're just kind of in and out. It feels, maybe a little bit like a factory. So that's really cool that you take the time to really listen to your patients. And I'm sure they really appreciate it too.
Yeah, and it's one of the things you hear over and over again that we feel like we're cattle. We're just kind of pushed in and out. I see signs, even as a patient myself, you go into the office, please limit your visit to one complaint today, and uh, whatever your chief complaint is, talk about it and get out. And it's like, wow,
Yeah.
very, very impersonal. And I like to make it more personal.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of your patient population, it seems like you have a very diverse client base, especially adding in, just not only family practice, but you have the whole aesthetic side. So can you tell us a little bit more about some of those other services that you offer that are a little bit more unique to a family practice?
Yeah, I really had intended just to start with cosmetic Botox, working at another clinic, and that was going to be it was going to be a side hustle,
Mhm.
and I really saw the need for primary care. But because I was doing the cosmetic Botox, I stuck with it. So that's something that I offer. I saw the need, a lot of patients, talking about the cosmetic Botox. We went into weight loss, and that had been I had that experience at some of the other practices that I worked at. Working in the ICU, I have experience. I was the IV resource nurse. If someone needed an IV, I could start an IV. So got into the IV hydration side of it as well. So just added expanding on some of the services that I offer.
Yeah, I know. Some of what you're doing right now obviously has gotten really popular. I mean, I can't tell you how many articles I've seen since, pop up, different weight loss drugs that are supposed to be meant for diabetics and all these different
Right? Yeah.
controversies and, it not being overseen by a physician. They're just getting prescribed and there's no one there on their journey with them. And so, that's really cool. It seems like you're really tapped into your patient population, what their needs are, and then really overseeing that and making sure they're getting the best care possible, after the fact.
And that kind of just goes back to what I get out of it. What's in it for me. So that again, I can follow them through. I'm not rushing them through. I get to talk, see how their journey's going, see if we need to make adjustments here and there.
Yeah.
Um, so again, you get to just follow them from beginning to end, and it's not a rushed service. So it's just a win-win for both.
Yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of misconceptions about what you do, probably more on the aesthetic side, I'm sure. But if you had to address maybe like something that you've heard recently or something that's kind of gaining traction, what do you think some of those misconceptions what would they be and what would you say that totally debunks that misconception?
Well, the big thing is more on the primary care side that I don't need a primary care server or a primary care provider. Uh, you know, there are all these urgent cares and little clinics and things like that, and those are important. They can be important bridges, but I think primary care. Uh, every person should have a primary care provider. They know you. They know you intimately. That if they know your medications, there's this continuity of care that when you come into the office, you've seen this person, they know how you look. They're I mean, knowing someone's color, like, if you came to me and you were pale, I would know that.
Yeah.
And versus if you just walked into my clinic and it's the first time I ever saw you, I don't know, like, oh, you don't look good today, or I might be able to say you don't look good, but I don't know how bad you really are because I don't know you. Versus, if I see you once a month or every couple of months, I'm like, oh, you look really bad.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but that helps you escalate care. If I need to get you to the emergency room or uh, something, we need to make a medication adjustment. Something's not sitting right. Where I know you, and I really think patients need to have that person that knows them.
That that is totally eye opening. I had not even thought about that myself. And that makes a ton of sense. I thought, man, there's got to be a lot of misconceptions, I'm sure, on the cosmetic side, but it seems like, to maybe the average person, family medicine is straightforward. But you're so right that, and you're the only person that's mentioned this. That yeah, it makes sense to have an ongoing relationship with a primary care provider as a first step. So someone that actually knows you, knows your health, knows your history, knows what to look out for instead of, these very quick, you know, prescriptive, you know, types of care, which is, a time and a place for, going to, CVS minute clinic or, emergency care, all those things have a time and a place, but to replace that with primary care, you best be thinking second.
Right,
Second
absolutely.
time about
And
that.
and even on the aesthetic side, with even with cosmetic Botox, uh, it's not just like waving a wand or and boom, all your wrinkles are gone, or put some filler in and boom, you got these great lips or whatever. Uh, or IV hydration. I'm going to come in, get an IV. I went out drinking last night and I got a hangover, and all of a sudden it's an hour later, I feel great again. There's still a little bit of recovery time. There's still, uh, you know, with for example, Botox, you get it in your forehead, and it takes a couple weeks for that to set up, and about a week for it to set up, and so
Yeah.
it's not come in, walk out, and you're you're looking great.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think so much in our society we're so ready and looking for how do we get this Amazon 2 day shipping, 1 day
right?
shipping,
Yeah, we're
every
used to everything right here, right now,
yeah,
and
and not especially with your body is like that, and
right,
or maybe shouldn't. And I like that you bring, this modern approach, but something that is safe at the same time, and you're kind of melding the two together. So I think that's really awesome and unique, and really bringing everything down to earth and saying this is what is really happening, and this is what you really get, and this is what you should really expect. So I appreciate, just the transparency with all that, and I'm sure everyone else watching does too. Um, for everyone listening here, I, if you have some more, latest tips, tricks, or anywhere else, that folks can find you, that they can follow you, if you can share, your website, any social media, they would appreciate it, and people are watching would probably love to click on it.
yeah, it's totalhealthandmedspa.com. I can be found on Facebook. I haven't got into the Instagram yet, or TikTok. A little too busy for those, but uh, they're always free to stop by the office. I'm at 78 North Briel Boulevard, Suite A in Middletown. It's pretty easy to find. Uh, Address is listed on the website as well. Again, that's totalhealthandmedspa.com. Always happy to answer any questions. They're always welcome to free to pop in and say hi, and find out about our services.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Chris. This has been great wealth of knowledge. I'll definitely be thinking twice and telling my friends about making sure they have a primary care provider.
Yeah, I appreciate you taking the time to reach out and to do this as well.
Thanks so much, Chris.
Thank you.